All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, if you're just joining us, this is another edition of Power Connections with Dr. Kevin Vaughan and my awesome guest today. We are so excited about you guys being with us today. Hey, guys, we have an awesome event coming up, and we have the wonderful and awesome and talented and smart and brilliant. She is a genius, Dr. Monica Y. Jackson. How you doing, madam? God bless
I'm doing well.
you. Amen. Amen. Hey, we want to recognize one of the other awesome and brilliant and beautiful and geniuses as well. Dr. Laquita Parks. What's up, Doc? How you doing, sister?
What's going on, Kevin Vaughn?
How
So
you
glad to
doing?
be here. I'm doing good.
Oh, we're so happy that you're here today. Thank you so much. We're thanking God for each and every one of you. And of course, we have the awesome Dr. Leroy McKenzie. He is a brilliant and a genius as well. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing, as I say before, wonderfully fantastic. So thank you for having me, having us to be able to be here. Great to be able to be here, be able to talk to you.
Amen. I thank you so much for that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Power Connection, but this is Dr. Monica Y. Jackson show today, guys. We are going to turn this over to her in a few seconds, but she is an author, ladies and gentlemen. You can learn more about her on her websites and so forth later, but she is an author, speaker, a coach, and consultant, and she's one of the best in the business. And the reason why I know that because she's working with Laquita Park. So I understand that's a very important key there. And also Dr. Leroy. So we thank you so much for that. So Dr. Monica Y. Jackson, you got a summit coming up. I am excited about it. Everybody here is excited about it. I'm gonna let you take it away and give us some updates, why the summit's coming, what's coming up, how to register, all the above. It is your baby right now. Thank you so much, Dr. Monica Jackson.
Thank you, Dr. Vaughn, first and foremost, for having us, and to my esteemed speakers, Laquita Parks and Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. Just thank you so much for your support and just for embracing this vision of the T4 Triumphs, Truth, and Tears virtual summit that's taking place May 20th through the 21st. And 19th is a bonus day where we're going to interact with the speakers, and we're going to be talking about things that people just don't want to talk about. Yeah. And part of the reason they don't want to talk about it is because we want to walk around like everything's fine and we have it all together when we literally are one step away from jumping off the cliff. And we're talking about things such as chronic physical pain, dealing with church hurt, and how we overcome these things, our financial setbacks, and just sexual abuse, and so forth and so on. And this is such an empowering event that I am going to just ask our two speakers here to just tell us a little bit about why they chose to be a part of this summit, what it has been to them thus far. And before I turn it over to them, I want to say that you can go to drmonicjackson.com/T4 Summit to register. And if you register today by midnight Pacific Standard Time, and listen here, mention Dr. Kevin Vaughan of Men Let's Talk Network, you will receive $10 off of your registration. So you have to do that by midnight today, and we'll credit you back the $10. So I want to just ask or turn over to actually Dr. Leroy and just ask him to give us a little bit about the summit and how he has been transformed and how he knows or thinks that it's going to transform the public. So let's let him give it a little bit of it. Dr. Leroy.
Look, thank you, Dr. Monica, but it's supposed to be ladies first, but that's okay. but thank you. And here's what I'll start off on with the summit. It's a place where I call these be in the room event type of events, because this is going to be an event that is going to give you the tools that you need in order to be able to understand how to overcome, how to defeat those obstacles that you think are undefeatable, that you might believe that are unstoppable. Because what you're going to get here is you're going to hear some stories. You're going to hear some stories of individuals that have gone through situations, circumstances, including myself, that I'll be talking about at this event, but hopefully through these stories, we're going to give you give you the knowledge and information that you need in order to be able to move forward. Because a lot of people, what I found is a lot of people seem to think that they're the only ones that have gone through something.
Right.
So what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about my aspect of it is going to be talking about overcoming the financial obstacles, and it stems from what I talk about in my book, The Power of a Man: Faith, Family, Finance, and Future. I'm going to hone in on the financial piece. What does it mean? And I think you'll like this, Dr. Kevin, because we're on Men Let's Talk show.
Yes, sir.
Talking about men and our finances.
We need it.
Understanding our finances as men. I'm gonna give you a quick example of one of the obstacles that I faced coming out of college. You know, we've all gone to school, I believe here, and we come out thinking that we're supposed to be worth a certain amount of money, making a certain amount of money. We're gonna come out doing those things. My major in college was hotel restaurant management.
Mm-hmm.
So I graduated. Coming out of school, I'm like, I got my degree. You know how we do. We got it in our hand. We running across the stage, running out thinking that the world is gonna we're gonna be flooded with all of these offers and all of this great amount of money.
Yeah.
Coming out of college, and coming out of college, my first position out of college with a hotel restaurant management degree from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Mm-hmm.
was being a front desk agent working for the Marriott Hotel. I was hot, to say the least.
Yeah, exactly.
I got upset. I'm talking to my mother and I'm like, Ma, I don't understand this. Y'all done told me I'm supposed to go to school, I'm supposed to do this, and I'm gonna come out making money, all of these things. And the only thing that they want to offer me is a front desk position. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But I felt like what I'd earned in my degree would warrant me to be able to do more and be in a better position than that. So I did my interviews and everything like that, wound up taking that position, working for the Marriott Hotel, working downtown Baltimore. And it was a new hotel, and this was back in the early mid 90s, and this was when the new, for those that aren't familiar with Baltimore, it's where the new where the new Orioles Stadium, the Ravens Stadium, is now there too, but they had just finished building Camden Yards. So right across the street from there, I'm a front desk agent there, and it's something that made me mad too, y'all. that I did the 6:00 a.m. shift in the morning, the 6 to 2 shift.
Yes.
So here I am doing all these things that I did not want to do and felt like I shouldn't have to be doing because of what I felt that I'd earned. So I do what I'm supposed to do, you know, and take that position and work there. And it was to be honest with you, it was one of the most enjoyable jobs that I had, to be honest with you. But I just felt like there was more.
Right, exactly.
And I wanted more. So I wound up working at Marriott for, I think, about a year or two, and worked there, and then wound up getting.
All right, don't give away the whole story, Doc.
I know. Well, moving into my next position, but those are the kinds of things that you're going to hear from me. Yeah. You know, here you are, this 23-year-old young man, young adulthood. What do you do when you feel like you've earned a certain level that you should be on? What do you do? How do you move on from that? How do you get over that, which you, as we talk about today, knowing your worth, knowing your worth. I say knowing your worth, but understanding your value. Those are two different things. So that's what I'm going to kind of be talking about at the summit. Knowing your worth, understanding your value from a financial perspective, and how do you move into those different getting over those different obstacles with those two viewpoints: knowing your value, but understanding, knowing your worth, but understanding your value. That's just a little bit.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow.
You know, look, now if you want to see, we did buck the system a little bit. You know, he said ladies first. but I intentionally did men first because this summit is totally different. So we're
Yeah.
doing things differently, and we're doing things rawly. And guess what? We gave Doc the floor, and he's taking it over like he's talking like a woman. You know, we just chattery. He's chatting too. But anyway, we're going to turn over to Miss Laquita her time to tell a little bit about what she'll be talking about at the summit and why she said yes to being a speaker.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. First of all, let me say I am honored to be here. It is always a pleasure to get to connect with my friend, Dr. Kevin Vaughan. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. And so my name is Laquita Parks, and I am the CEO and founder of PayProV Publishing. And PayProV is Pain, Progress, Victory, because I believe without pain, there is no progress, and without progress, there can be no victory. So I help people take their stories from a thought to a realization. And I do that by using my own story of medical childhood trauma at the hands of a nurse. Why did I say yes to the T4 Summit? First of all, honestly, first and foremost, I said yes because of the person who asked me.
Yeah.
Those people who know me know that I am very, very particular with who I connect with. And so there are some people who, when they ask, you know, you just say yes because of who they are. So first and foremost, I said yes because I was honored to be asked. And now I'm not honored that everybody asked me. Everybody does not get a yes. Okay. Everybody does not get a yes. Hear me clearly. Everybody don't get a yes. But when she asked me and she pitched the idea, what do you think about this idea? I thought it was an amazing idea. And when she asked me to be a part of it, I was honored to say yes. And my story, I like what you said when you said everybody, and you said it too, Dr. Leroy, there are people who feel like they're in it by themselves. You know, my story is different. My story is unique. Nobody has been through what I've been through. And I feel like that most days because my story is different. My story is unique. And most people, I'm not going to say nobody, but most people, there is not anybody that I know of in my 53 years of living who has gone through what I am currently going through. And so, but I've also met people who've gone through worse than what I've gone through. So my story does not negate somebody else's story. So what this T4 Summit means to me is giving me an opportunity to, number one, share my story, but to also let people see my life and see that I'm a no excuses kind of person. There are reasons for things that happen, but I'm a no excuses kind of person because I believe if I can listen, I do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. Okay. And I know somebody in the military, that's a military slogan. We do more before 5 a.m. I think than most people. Well, I do more. I'm there and I've never been in the military, but I want people to understand that no matter where you are in your life, and I'm not talking about finances, I'm talking about your position, not necessarily your geographical location, not your financial situation, but where you are in your mindset, where you are in your feelings, where you are in your finances, where you are in your locale. No matter where you are, God has already equipped you to do everything he needs for you to do where you are. And there is somebody waiting on the other end of your story so that they can get healing from their story. So doing this T4 Summit, I want people to understand that their story has the power to heal. It has the power to help somebody overcome. It has the power to heal you. One of the questions you asked Dr. Monica is how has, what has been my goings on? You didn't say that. Those were not your words. Those are my words. What has been my goings on since being involved with the summit? One of the things is it has caused me to bring to my remembrance those things that I never thought about, or and when I say I never thought about, it's because I've gone through so much. Sometimes we go through so much and endure so much, we lock those painful things in the crevices of our mind, and sometimes it's a defense mechanism. It has caused me to think about things that I have not thought about, and it's been hard. It's been hurtful. It's been painful, but it's been great because once you can bring it up, and get it out, you don't ever have to feel that way again. So it has caused me to look at myself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm proud of me because I've gone through a lot and endured a lot, and I've done a lot in spite of what some people have deemed you can't do. So when Grady Memorial Hospital did not protect me, and there's been no compensation and all that, and I'll get more into that at the summit. But those are things that can break a person. And it didn't break me. And I am my last comment. There are people who've gone through a lot. Dr. Monica, we've talked about this before. Dr. Kevin, we've talked about this before. There are people who've gone through a lot. There's the sexual abuse, there's the emotional abuse, there's the financial abuse. They've gone through that, but you can get over those things, and you can move forward. And sometimes you can put those things back, and years can pass, and you don't have to deal with that until there's a trigger. Some people have overcome it and triggers don't bother them, but I don't have that luxury. That's not my story. I live with my physical pain every single day of my life. I have to look at my legs. I have to take a bath. I have to bathe it. I have to go through the process of warming my leg up at night. I have to make arrangements to be able to do some things that I want to do. So I live with it every single day. And I'm here to tell you, it is not easy. However, I don't wear that as a badge of honor. You can't look at me and tell that from the waist down, I got some issues. You can't look at me and tell, because I don't walk around with the woe is me. I'm too stubborn for that. Too stubborn for that. But what I do hold on to the fact is that it's temporary. It's all temporary. And so the T4 Summit gives me an opportunity to share my story to a group of people who might not otherwise feel like they can move from point A to point B. They may be sitting in their own mess. They may be because there's the victims. They may, I was a victim. I am a victim, but I chose not to be victim, because victim get victim circumstances. They give you the crumbs. They give the victims the crumbs. And listen, I've gone through a lot, and I am still going through a lot, and I will continue to go through that lot, but I ain't nobody's victim.
Amen.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm sassy.
That's beautiful. That is so beautiful, Dr. Monica Jackson. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Power Connections with my wonderful guest today, but we are giving this over to Dr. Monica Jackson. We've got a powerful summit coming up, guys, that she's talking about, and we want you guys to be a part of it. Doc, as they were talking, I was also thinking, guys, I want you guys to push this out. You guys are going to see this on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Nextdoor, Alignable, all the above, YouTube. And I want you to push this out, because somebody in your family, somebody in your sphere of influence is going to need to be a part of this summit to get freed up, to get information, to get knowledge. And how about this, to get freed up? That's the biggest one right there. And to take yourself to the next level. I want to make sure everybody understood that, Dr. Jackson, so they can be a part of that. We want you guys to get those tickets and get that information. So Doc, back to you, because folks want to know, how do I sign up?
Well, I hope that people can feel the energy that's just amongst these three of us speakers. We have 9 speakers. And let me tell you, they are so real and so raw, because being real and raw allows you to get your healing. And healing is a process. Healing is a process. Don't let anybody tell you, you're healed. Well, there's somebody who has a book that's called "Your Heal is Showing, Your Unhealed is Showing." Healing is a process. You may be healed today, and tomorrow something triggers it. So don't beat yourself up if you find yourself struggling. The message, mission, and movement of my personal message, mission, and movement, which transfers to the T4 Summit, is to unsilence the silence, give voice to the voiceless, and encourage individuals and empower them to give themselves permission, power, and purpose to disrupt debilitating hurt and pain. And my specific topic that I'm talking about, I'm going to be focusing on wounds that I suffered in my family and wounds that I suffered in the church. Those are things that we don't talk about. Why? Because we're told to keep things happen in the house, in the house. What's going to happen in the family stays in the family. That's how generational curses continue. That's how things impact and affect people. And so one of the things that I say, and it has freed many people, is my family has taught me that blood is not thicker than water. That's not an easy concept to accept or receive.
Right.
But once you receive reality, and once you can deal with reality, there's your peace. And there's things that happen in church that nobody wants to talk about. But why are they happening in the church? That's because if our families are keeping silent and our families are screwed up, we're taking that into the church. How can the church not be the same reflection? So we have to focus on things that we can change. And so I hope that this summit disrupts the atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have national and international speakers.
Yeah.
And again, I'm grateful that I was given this assignment to do.
Yeah.
And I'm changed because of it.
Yeah.
So if the speakers are changed and we are admitting things that we've never admitted before publicly, we have people speaking who have never spoken publicly about their issues.
Right.
And that's very freeing. So
yeah.
I just look forward. And there's the other thing. We have 3 men. We have 3 men on our panel. And I'm so grateful because they're speaking real, raw truth. Because too many of our men are suffering in silence. Too many of our women have expectations of men that we shouldn't have. That's because somebody taught us those things.
Right.
But again, I always say that we were taught things, we were told things, we observed things. That doesn't mean those things are true. And we have to find out for ourselves what's true for us.
Amen.
And our experiences embrace that. So sometimes you find yourself misaligned. Sometimes you find yourself isolated, ostracized because of truth. And truth will always separate, but it will always reveal. And I believe that truth will prevail at the end.
Absolutely, Dr. Jackson. Absolutely. Hey, ladies and gentlemen across the globe, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the T4 Summit. You know, one thing I got excited about, Dr. Jackson, is the fact there's 8 billion people on the planet, 8 billion plus actually right now. And I'm going to tell you, every one of those people have some trials. We got some triumphs. We got some truths, and we got some tears that we need to talk about. We want people to be a part of this. We know not all of them are going to be on the network, but we want people to sign up on this wonderful summit coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And I want everybody that's listening on all the platforms, I want you to push this out at least 100 times on your network so we can get the traction that we want and the people that need to be on there listening and being a part of this powerful summit that Dr. Monica Y. Jackson has put together. And Dr. Jackson, if you would tell people how they can sign up, because people want to know how do I get this ticket, get on this.
Okay. You can go to drmonicjackson.com/T4 Summit. And as I mentioned earlier, if you register by midnight Pacific Standard Time, we will credit you back $10 off of the registration, which is only $79.
Yeah.
Where can you get 9 speakers? And as part of your registration, I want to say 7 of our speakers are authors. So you get to choose 2 books. That's part of your registration. In addition to that, you're going to receive a resource directory. Speaking of the resource directory, we have sponsorship packages. So if you are a business that would like to advertise your event that aligns with what we're doing, and go over to our website, and every person who attends this summit will receive that resource guide. So those are just a few things that you will receive. And I believe that you will, like Dr. Leroy said, you have to be in the room. I do believe that you will not leave the way that you will not return back into your atmosphere the way that you entered into this summit. So register today.
Yeah, fantastic. Dr. Jackson, everyone, I also think that, ladies and gentlemen, to go to a professional, now, not to say you don't do this, but, there's professionals, man, you cost $200-300 an hour. In some cases, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, $200 an hour to get, I think, what you won't get from the summit, you'll get at the summit that you won't get with a professional, ladies and gentlemen, and paying all that money. I think you're going to get more out of the summit being with these wonderful people here. And Dr. Jackson put this team together. It's going to be powerful, guys. So I want everybody to also take notes too, guys. You need to take notes and be prepared to receive at this wonderful T4 Summit coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all those wonderful topics, man. Look at all the topics they're going to be talking about. That's hitting everybody on the planet right there, right there. Definitely everybody in our community, guys. So once again, Doc mentioned on the website, guys, I want to give it out again. I just wrote it down myself. That's drmonicjackson.com/T as in Tom or T as in tough. How about that? T4 Summit coming up, guys. That's where you can register right now. I want you guys to think about doing that. But also too, Doc, they can share this with their family members, right? Then your coworkers, right? And also your associates, anybody that you think needs, you may not want to do it, right? That's okay. You forward it to some people you think are going to be able to be at that summit as well. So that's what we're excited about too, Doc. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I love it. I love it. Well, Doc, we want to give everybody some final thoughts, if you will, unless you want to continue on. Anything else you want to share? If not, you can get some final thoughts and we'll wrap this baby up.
My final thoughts are going to be, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you may deal with, don't go through it isolated.
Yeah.
Know that you are not alone.
Yeah.
What you know, there's something in the Bible that says there's nothing new under the sun, and there truly isn't, but you will never know in your silence. And once you begin to speak up, you'll find out there's so many people who've gone through what you've gone through.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be embarrassed.
There's
no reason to be embarrassed about anything, because who are you trying to impress? So I want you to leave the summit loving yourself more than you've ever loved yourself before. Give yourself permission to love yourself. And I believe that these 9 speakers have learned to love themselves through their pain, through their trials, and have come through their tears and have triumphed. And because of that, we're able to pour into others. So don't let us down. Don't let us be the only 9 at the summit. Register drmonicjackson.com/T4 Summit. And for those businesses that want to see lives change, we need you to purchase sponsorship. Thank you, Dr. Vaughan.
Oh, thank you so much. Laquita, any final thoughts from your wonderful self there, madam?
Of course. I want to say, there are a lot of people who are walking around in their feelings.
Yes.
And I'm guilty. I'm guilty sometimes, but I have an amazing friend who tells me all the time, he has a saying that he says, don't be fooled by your feelings, or your feelings will have you feeling like a fool. And I think that's important. And the reason I brought that up is because during this summit, there will be feelings, there will be emotions, there will be tears. There will be tears of joy, tears of breakthrough, tears of uncovering. And I like what Dr. Monica always says is silence kills. And so we are walking around holding on to secrets that are not ours to keep. And so as we go through this summit, consider this your opportunity to break through, to be free from everything that's holding you back. Be free from the sexual abuse, be free from the church hurts, be free from the wayward children, be free from the pain of miscarriage, be free from the stigmatism of having children with autism and mental health, and be free from the chronic pain. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be all good, because I don't believe in that prophet lying. I don't believe in that. But what I do believe in is that we have an opportunity to be better than we were yesterday, Dr. Leroy. We have an opportunity to do something better, to do something different. If we always do what we've always done, we're going to always get what we've always gotten. Amen. And so some of us are walking around with this definition of insanity. So purchase your ticket. Listen, and if you don't have time to come, somebody who could benefit, and gift them a ticket, purchase them a ticket. I'm speaking at the summit, and I am purchasing tickets to help somebody else. Somebody, 2 or 3 somebody. There are 8 billion people on the planet, and somebody in your circle who could benefit from this summit. So purchase a ticket, get one, hey, buy one for yourself and buy one for a friend, and come to the summit and be healed. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I love it.
I'm not changing it. I'm not changing it.
That's
That's it.
right. That's why I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we call Laquita Parks the super publisher. She is the super publisher in our lives, and we thank you so much, Laquita, for what you do and who you are as well. Dr. Leroy McKenzie, what's your final thoughts, my friend?
I'll say this. If you want to get better,
Yeah.
you want to be better.
Yeah.
And this is where it will begin for you.
Yes.
You'll come away, as Dr. Monica said, I promise you, this is you can take it to the bank, root 2 people
Yep.
tomorrow if you come to this summit, because what you will do is come away from here better. And anybody who has listened to me know that I say this all the time. My mission, my purpose is to make you better by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year.
Amen.
One of those ways for you to be able to be better is to be able to be at the T4 Summit. I promise you, you can't be a part of and around these 9 speakers,
Yep.
hear what they're saying, and not be better. I read a book last year, really quickly, called The Slight Edge.
Yes,
and what the author talked about was being 1% better every single day. What you'll come away with from being at this summit is being how to come away from this summit and saying, I know what I need to do next.
Right.
I know what my next step is.
Right.
I know what I need to do. And putting that strategy in place, putting that plan in place to be better 1% every single day. That's what you'll get when you attend the T4 Summit.
Oh man, Dr. Jackson, I already feel the energy starting already. Man, it's not even me. I love it, man. That's powerful, Doc. Thank you so much for that. And guys, I hope you're hearing the reasoning, the sense of urgency. I love that word, sense of urgency, guys. It is so important that you guys do that. But Dr. Jackson, we got to let people who are just joining us, let them know how to get those tickets. Hey, the date is May 20th through the 21st. We have a bonus day, May the 19th, right? I believe so, I think that's correct. So May 20th through the 21st with the bonus day, the 19th, guys. So put that on your calendar, May 20th through the 21st, this year, of course. And the bonus day is 2019. I want you guys to go to Dr. Monica's website. That's drmonicjackson.com and / the number T for tenacity, or the letter T, excuse me, for tenacity, and the number 4 and then T for summit. Okay, that's drmonicajackson.com / T4 summit. And that'll get you information about the tickets. And also you can share that out with everybody. I want everybody who's seeing this, guys, push this out on your networks as well, so we can get that traffic and get those tickets sold that we want to do for Dr. Jackson and for the guests as well. But guys, we want you guys to blow this up. Matter of fact, we want Dr. Monica to be doing another summit. She got so many people that can't even get in. That's what we want for her to do as well. So we want her to have so many people that want to get to the summit that she got to do another summit, what we call the T4 Summit 2, whatever we got to do. So it's needed, guys. So needed. So Dr. Jackson, I thank you so much for being here on Power Connections. We are going to promote this all the way up to the date on the network. Guys, this is going to be on the platform of our channel as well, the YouTube channel. And we're going to be pushing out about 8 other platforms. And I want everybody to push it out on yours as well. And we're excited. And if you guys also too, Dr. Jackson, I always like to encourage people, if you have a podcast, if you have a television show, if you have a network of any type, you need to contact Dr. Jackson and have her on your program. Okay, so she can share this as well. So I want you guys to have a podcast. I just was doing some texting earlier with some people that have podcasts and have radio programs and television. You guys call Dr. Monica and set her up so she can share this with your network as well. So Dr. Monica Jackson, thank you so much for your time today. Powerful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here and supporting the message and the mission and this movement. So there definitely is a movement.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, please know that this is your network too, Dr. Jackson and Dr. McKenzie and Laquita knows already. You guys can come on. All we got to do is put it on the schedule and we done. That's what it's all about. Hey guys, we get ready to roll out of here. Once again, Dr. Monica, that's drmonicajackson.com / T4 Summit. For the tickets, guys, the date, put that on your calendar, May the 20th through the 21st, with the bonus day on May the 19th, guys. Please get that information on your calendars and be prepared to act accordingly. Matter of fact, Dr. Jackson, I was thinking about, we need to buy some stock in bathroom tissue, nose tissue, and paper towels. There's gonna be a lot of crying and going on, makeup all over the place. So I'm getting ready to get on the stock market and buy me some stock. Almost there. Scott Towels and all those other guys, get ready. I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, guys, we got to go. Anything else, Doc, before we go?
No, I just thank you. And as I said, make sure you get this special. This is the first time I've offered this special of $10 off.
Yep.
But you have to do that by midnight Pacific Standard Time today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you so much for that as well. Hey, guys, we're going to go. Hey, we're going to leave you with this real quick. Hey, remember to always outlove, outserve, and outforgive each other. And remember, the T4 Summit is coming up on May the 20th through the 21st. We want you to get your tickets at that's drmonicjackson.com/T4 Summit. And of course, if you guys want more information, get in touch with me as well. We got the flyers that's approved, so we'll get that out to you as well. So if you guys can't do that, say, hey, Kev, send me the flyer or send me the website. We'll do that too as well. Okay, Doc, thank you so much for your time. Laquita, Doc, thank you so much for your time today. All right.
Thank you all.
All right, y'all get ready, guys. Get ready for the T4 Summit. It's coming up soon. Add it to your calendar. Appreciate you guys being with us today. Hey, this has been Power Connections with Dr. Monica Jackson and with Dr. Leroy McKenzie and